on to it and shoot for the sky.
All right. Once again, hello and welcome to the Ring Post Daily Podcast. You're listening to myself, Jesse Henrik, the RPD Prophecy Champion, Joey Hudson, and Mr. RPD Tyreek Ramsey. We are here doing our way too early WrestleMania card predictions. And as a bonus, I do have Eddie and Austin's cards as well. Unfortunately, they were not able to be with us tonight, so we won't know who their winners are. But I can at least show you their kind of their cards and how they developed. But regardless,
sound like Walmart's photo department.
So we're gonna start this off with Ty here. I'm just gonna pull this up.
Shit, I did have time to scroll.
Yeah, I told you did.
Shh, it's okay. He'll never touch you again.
All right. So do you see the presentation, boys?
Yes.
All right.
I do. I feel like we're on a business.
We are on a business call, you twat.
Wrestling business.
All right.
Yes. I see the presentation. I see the new rules.
So, WrestleMania Vegas, Tyreek. Night 1. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Start things off.
I thought it was starting out Andre the Giant versus somebody. I don't know why.
All right, so and just to clarify, just give us a brief idea of why you booked this match. I'll introduce him. You give us a brief introduction to the match and why it's there.
Well, it's just like
Who's your winner? You don't even remember your winner.
Let me see. I don't remember this. Not of this match, no. Who'd I say? Did I send you? I got you.
Did you say?
I got you.
Man.
Hold on.
Do you know who's all in it?
Oh, I know. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Joey, I didn't add all the members like you did. I didn't even add your members because that was fucked up.
Well,
I'm not adding.
really
I'm not
didn't
adding
have to
30
do
people
all
to
that.
the screen.
Yeah.
I was hoping you did. That's one reason why I did all that.
I know my winner. So this match was put on because I think I had 16 altogether, or I had 15 at the time. I was like, I need one more match, and I want 8 matches to be on each card or each night. And so this one, because I think he'll debut by that time, maybe around the Rumble, maybe a little bit after. This will kind of be his breakout moment. Obafemi's winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And I put this match because, of course, there's a select few that you have to have on WrestleMania and have to have a match and everything. But for the ones who I just feel like deserve to be on Mania, it's like, throw them in the Battle Royal. Like they need to be on Mania, so throw them in the Battle Royal.
All right. Next up.
Obafemi.
And for the record, you guys don't have to go super in depth. Just give me a little. Hey, I booked this match. This is why. This is who's going over. That's all you need. So just so you know,
Like a quick just paragraph.
Yeah, I mean we got 91 slides to go through.
Oh yeah, he'll go through it.
All right. I like this. This next match, but I hate its placement because it's post curtain jerk. John Cena versus Braun Breaker, WWE Intercontinental Championship.
Oh. So basically said, I was like, with Cena's last WrestleMania, I think it should, he's always been at Mania kind of facing, newer talent, trying to put him over, whether, depends on, the situation. And I even thought this would happen like last year or the year before with Braun Breaker, but, we were just waiting for Braun Breaker to debut. Not for the Intercontinental title, but I see Cena winning the Intercontinental title in his last WrestleMania because he hasn't won that title yet. And I want to see that. So that's why I have the match.
Next up. So, WWE Tag Team Championship 6-way. Morrissey Machine Guns going in as champions versus the Creeds versus LWO versus Street Profits versus Legado del Fantasma versus the War Raiders.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
That's a tag team
So,
festival right there.
yeah. So this is uh,
A clusterfuck
this was
is what
all.
it
This
is.
match was pretty much based on. Yeah,
It
it was all.
is.
It was all based on Street Profits winning the tag titles. Like that's the moment was. I was like, okay, well, what's the match they're gonna beat everybody in? And it took three teams from Raw and Raw and SmackDown, and a lot of these guys, it's like it's their first WrestleMania. So like the Creeds
It
and
is.
Cameron Umberto and Angel and
Yeah.
Dragon. Wait, no, Dragon Lee was there last year. But anyway,
Yeah.
Street Profits. I've just been waiting for them to win the titles. Next slide.
Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu, a meaty match.
Solo, I love you.
Or I hate you.
I send some crack.
Already?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Wow.
it's just I sensed some cracks in the thing. I feel like maybe Solo will get some jealousy going after because the people have clearly just made it clear like Solo. I mean Jacob should be the tribal chief. So I think it'll blow up by that time, and there's gonna be a lot of like Samoan versus Samoan matches. So
At this time, he'll be saying, "I hate you, Solo."
you are not my tribal chief. But Jacob wins here.
He'll just put it all
All
reverse.
right.
Jacob wins here.
I like it. Next up, Kabuki Warriors versus Damage Control going in as champions.
Yeah.
WWE Women's Tag
Yeah.
Team Championship.
So I do sense Damage Control will become tag team champions soon. As soon as maybe Jade and Bianca blow up and they end up fighting each other. Then with the Oscar return, I just thought the best match for Damage Control to like the members to be in was to be against each other, and so Kabuki Warriors versus Damage Control for the tag titles. I love it. So yeah, that's why I went with
Did you really spell out control instead of CTRL?
Funny enough,
Controil. Troil.
yeah, I was about to say
Controil.
I spelled it wrong.
Damage Control.
Listen, you bunch of bitches. I did like 50 of these in like one straight stretch, okay? So screw
I
you.
can tell.
But yeah, anyways, some of them I spelled control and then some of them I shortened it to control
Control.
CTRL. It just depends on how much room I had to fill. Anyways, moving on. The Usos going in as WWE World Tag Team Champions versus the GOD, better known as the Gorillas of Destiny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's their
Yeah,
legit
it's like-
name.
I'm just used to call them.
I call them the Tongans. I'm just like, they're the
I do too.
Tongans.
For
But
I think it's a cooler name. I do.
yeah. So I think the Usos versus the Tongans is gonna be a great match. I was just debating because Jimmy and Jay are so good by themselves. They could have singles matches by themselves. If Jay had a singles match on WrestleMania, I could see him going against like Sami Zayn. But I'm as far as like if they get it back together, this is the match for them. And there could maybe another tag team, but I think this one makes sense and it could build into something great
And who's winning?
with the Usos winning.
With
The Usos.
winning. Interestingly enough, all
Because
five
they're the
of
greatest.
us, all five of us have the Usos in a match as a tag team. So that's interesting
Wow,
to me.
okay.
Who would have thought back in like Rocky Maivia, High Chief Peter Maivia days? Who would have thought like 40 years later at WrestleMania and you'd have like the most Anani family members at a WrestleMania
Oh, yeah.
ever?
I really like this next match. It's got John Cena, Edge, and Big Show vibes. We have Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton going in as champion versus Nia Jax, WWE Women's World Championship. Talk to us, Tom.
Yeah, so of course we're waiting. We're waiting for like. There's no doubt in my mind that Tiffy's going to become champion. Like as long as she's held it, and they're just waiting to capitalize on it.
And I forgot to mention, Nia is your 2025 Royal Rumble winner for the women's side.
Yes. I'm just like, because I'm just like, how do we get to this match? Charlotte does not need to win another Rumble. Well, she could, but depending on she doesn't need to just come back and win one, I think. But
No, she needs to earn
Yeah,
she needs to earn
yeah. I
something
think
back.
she'll be in the mix with Tiffy and Nia, because of course that's building up to when Tiffy does take the title off of Nia. But because of that, like Charlotte Flair has to be on Mania. I could have done her versus Tiffany Stratton, but in my opinion, Nia Jax also has to be on Mania. So I think the three of them in a dynamic, like you said, uh, uh, Jesse, Big Show, Cena, Edge vibes, and I like it. And so, and plus, Nia could easily win a Rumble. She was
Yeah.
kind of a contender for last year's.
And also important to mention, this is your night one main event, so I like that you gave it to the ladies here. Who do you got winning
Yes,
this
yes. I
match?
think they could build it into that. I think, yeah, Tiffany Stratton will retain. She'll
Tiffany
retain.
will retain. All right. Night two, your curtain jerker, Seth Rollins versus
Yeah.
CM Punk. Interestingly, I believe
Yeah.
all five of us have this match.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going through mine right now to make sure
I
I
think
have
you
it on
do.
here. I
Like
have to know now.
this,
Fuck yeah, I do.
I like the women's match, of course, main eventing and everything, but this could have easily main evented the night one. Like
Oh
just
yeah.
the story they're going to tell all the way up until, this point, and just the feud. I don't know like what specific direction they're gonna go with, but it just seems like you got two of the best who work well together. I think they both deserve this match. Like, Seth always just deserves a big match at Mania.
Oh yeah.
And I sense Punk's gonna win. I sense Punk's gonna win. They're gonna start off that's why they start off the night, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I sense that's where they'd go. But who knows? Maybe it'll change, and like the storyline will go a different way, and I'll be like, okay, I think maybe Seth. But at this point, I think yeah,
All
I'd probably
right.
be going for
I
Seth.
gotta give Rollins credit. I gotta give Rollins credit though. Ever since like CM Punk came back, I remember that specific promo that Punk just went wild on him in and was like, "This is my house, and I'm not gonna let people like you come and tear it down and stuff like
Right.
that." Uh, that really did put you like kind of like on a Super Bowl like team versus team type of pick a side type of thing. Because like now when this match does happen, you're gonna have them CM Punk siders, and then you're gonna have those people that are on Rollins side, and like man, this is like gonna be a huge like side versus side like type of match.
All right. Next up, I like this match. This is a match that a lot of us have, but in different scenarios. Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair going in as Women's World Champion.
Oh yeah,
WWE
oh
Women's
yeah,
World Championship.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. Bianca, man, this. I mean, this could have main evented night one. This is crazy, but it's like this is the dream match. Like it's like it seems like they're going to be building towards it. I I think they've done wonders as a tag team, of course, and becoming tag champs, and legitimize the titles a little more than they have been over the years. But I always just sense this was building towards their feud. This is the match. This is the big match everybody wants to see. I think Bianca will eventually dethrone Liv, or at least I hope that happens, because Liv needs to lose the title as well. I'm sorry, but she does,
Yeah, she does.
and that'll lead to this, and that'll lead to this, and
I
Bianca
like it.
does not lose at WrestleMania.
She does
Bianca
not.
does not lose at
Uh-oh.
WrestleMania.
She's
She
4 and
doesn't.
0.
The female John
Yeah.
Cena.
So it's like they'll have future matches, but Jade, you're not winning this one. Like it's Bianca Belair at
No.
Mania.
At some point, the AEW, the AEW come in has to pay her dues, and that'd probably be where.
All
Mhm.
right. Next up, we have the Wyatt Six versus Judgment Day in an intergender 5-way
Ooh.
quintet match.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's
This
it's
pretty much
ugly.
went into it's like it's crazy. It's like yeah. Plus, I mean, you got the history between Liv and Nikki. They used to be. They were tag team champs, right? Am I tripping? Or were they?
No,
Or
they
they
so
had
they
something.
have
They had
both.
something.
Nikki and
Yeah,
Bliss
they
was.
have both shared a tag team partner in Rhea Ripley. But no, they were
Oh,
never
okay.
tag champs
Yeah, I must have been
together.
thinking of Alexa Bliss with Nick. But anyway,
Yeah.
point is, it's like this is just I thought there's not a perfect match for either of these teams, like to not face each other at Mania. They
Oh
both have
yeah,
that spooky nature to them, and this it fits so well. And I was just thinking of the top factions on, like I want to see a faction match, the top factions on Raw, boom, boom, Judgment Day and them, and I just want to, I wouldn't mind seeing the Judgment Day lose. So the White Six of
I
course.
do want to say. I do want to say that Carlito looks like a fucking G
he
in this
does.
Usually,
pic. Like, dude, that is like the most gangster
now that's
Carlito's ever
cool.
looked.
Now that's cool.
Okay,
That
funny
is.
enough. So I dare you guys to find a picture of Finn Balor where it does not look like he just sniffed a dirty diaper. Because every single picture he takes, he has that scowl.
I don't know. There's so much going on in this photo. Like Carlito looks like a G. You can barely see JD back there. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said,
Finn sitting
Finn
there.
just looks like he's in a shit mood all the time. And then Dominic and Liv look like the happiest couple in the world right now.
Finn just-
I mean, they are.
Like, what are you mad at, Finn? Finn's just mad. What are you mad at,
He's
Finn?
always mad.
Nothing's even happened. Yeah, he's just.
it kind of looks like from this angle he's creeping on like Liv and Dom. Like, I want what you have.
All right. So you said you got the 6 winning here. Next up,
Yes, the Whites.
Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul. That's nasty.
Yeah. I'm just. I don't know. It's like I could have.
Drew would have
just
so
smashed
much
up.
Yeah,
cannon
it's-
fodder with Paul. He would have so much to bitch about
Yeah.
with him.
It's just like.
We know Drew can bitch.
Mhm. Well, I sense Drew will be. I don't know. He's been such a great heel, but I think he's slowly going to start be turning back babyface when he comes back. Like people are just going to start
Oh, yeah.
loving his heels.
Really?
Well, I think he's gonna still be a heel, but they're gonna start cheering him because they love him as a heel. Like I feel like that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna naturally turn back to a babyface. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But
It's the Io
But,
Sky effect. She's too cool to be a
I
heel.
would like to see this match with Logan as a face finally. Like,
ooh, that'd be
I think
interesting.
that would be
Yeah,
cool.
that would
Going
be
against
cool.
Going against like the sinister Drew McIntyre,
Yeah.
and he's already beat Orton and Owens at Mania, so this is like another big name for him to try to conquer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not bad.
So who you
But
got
I,
winning?
I don't care if he was a babyface. I want him to get his ass beat, and so even if it was a babyface, I still want Drew to take the win here. Yeah.
I want to see his kid in a half beat, he says. Well, you put him in there with the right guy.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, maybe Logan Paul does have a match at WrestleMania. It was already going to be someone big and just strong. I was like, if it wasn't Drew, it's Braun Strowman. I was like, okay, like Braun's
Oh my
All
God.
right.
You're just trying to kill Logan, aren't you?
Next
gonna
up,
get him some Logan Paul.
fourth time's a charm to shit the bed, because we have Austin Theory versus LA Knight going in as champion, United States Championship match. Come on.
that picture looks like a toy title on his shoulder.
Sell me on this match, Ty, 'cause by far this is the worst match I think that you predicted, or that you
I
posted
can
up.
see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I can see it, but
Bro,
why do
I'm
you
telling
want
you,
it? Why do I want to see
it's
it?
just that, I'm of course an Austin Theory fan, but still, even then, like I said, I think Grayson and Theory will both have big years in 2025. And this is I think it'll build into I think Theory's going to turn babyface, and that's like, he doesn't need to be sent back to NXT, and that'll just flow from there, and he'll just kind of build naturally from there. I don't know if Knight turns heel. Maybe people will get tired of his shtick by then, but I don't know. Like, maybe he'll flip something, but I'd say Theory takes the win. But this is all just like the start of a big year for Theory, 3-time U.S. champ. And
I could see that. I could see where you're coming
yeah, it's I was just sitting there thinking about it, like, and I was like, I really think Theory will have a big year. So, and I was like, who's gonna face?
Like, see, that's why. Sorry, go ahead. I wouldn't mean to interrupt you.
I was just saying, like, I was also just thinking who's gonna be U.S. champ by then, and who's gonna face Knight if he is still U.S. champ. And I think, the top guy on Smack Theory. look, he's not in the best place right now, but I think it's theory. Like we all know he's going to grow. Once he does fight, he's going to grow into everything he's supposed to be, and this may be the start of that.
So,
well, we call them the early WrestleMania predictions for a reason, and like for all you know, Knight could be healed by this time. Theory and him break up, and Theory's the face. I mean, this could all like fold into place. Like I could definitely see this happening if WWE takes the time and not rush.
Funny enough, we talk about not knowing the future, but I don't think that the future is going to really happen in the case of this next match, because somehow Ty has predicted that there will be 2 women's world championships in play, because he also
wait, what?
Yeah, you okay? So you booked Bianca.
I did
as
do that.
the
That's
world
crazy.
champion, and Rhea Ripley as the world champion. So
What
I
the
gotta
hell's
ask
wrong,
what
Ty?
the thought process is there. Either way, we got Rhea Ripley going in as champ versus Raquel Rodriguez, women's world championship match. How do we get 2 women's world champions?
I don't know.
This is where you pull something out your hat. Pull something out your ass, Ty.
Wait, that's right. That's right. Damn it. Oh, I'm really trying to think. I can't believe I did. I think I was deciding, I was like, who's, I think I actually just left it like that because I'm like, who's gonna, fuck, this is tough. Wow. Who's
okay.
actual world champion is,
I didn't even
I
notice
think I'll take the world champ.
So.
No, I think I'll take off, the women's world champion won't be, Bianca and,
Okay.
wait, but then Rhea has to beat Liv again? Now, yeah, this is the world championship match. This is it. This is the world champ because it needs it.
Anyways, okay, so how do we get to the mommy match?
This is just a match that ever since, I've been seeing Raquel in NXT and, Rhea, I think debuted when I was watching her, Rhea was kind of just fresh on the scene. I just always kind of knew this match would be
Raquel took Rhea's
would
spot in
happen.
NXT is what happened. Because
For
she
sure,
literally
yeah, and that's
kicked
when
her
I was
out.
watching it.
Ah.
Yeah, and then became champ and just dominated. But ever since seeing that, I'm just like, okay, this is because another match we've been waiting to see is that big match between Rhea and Bianca. I feel like we could wait on that because that's a huge match. But all 3 of them, like Raquel, Rhea, and Bianca, they could all I always knew they'd like interchange and have the big matches with each other. And I think by this time, it's tough to see it getting to this point, to be honest. But I think this will be the match that we end up with at that Mania.
So who's winning?
I do want to point out there's a lot of R's in this.
Yes, there are.
Rhea Ripley.
All right.
Of course.
Next up,
Mm-hmm.
we have Gunther going in as World Heavyweight Champion versus Damian Priest, your men's Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah. So, man, like I've even I made this match a prediction like kind of I don't know a little bit ago, or not too long ago, but before even like I've seen the promos of them building up to the Survivor Series match, I was like, I sense this is gonna happen. I think it's the next big thing for Priest is to win the Royal Rumble because he's had the world title reign and he's just with the momentum he's building so far. I don't think he'll win at Survivor Series this time around, but still, the way it's going is kind of mixing me up. But to get to this match, I think Priest will lose at Survivor Series. People will want to see him win, come back at Royal Rumble, and he will win at this WrestleMania and beat Gunther because Gunther's legitimately shook by Priest at this point.
All right. Yeah, I mean, he is. That's no doubt.
It is crazy that you see this feud carrying on that long, though.
Yeah, I knew kind of what, but I just sense it's like that.
Well, and it doesn't have
for
to
the person
carry
who's
on
going to
that
dethrone
long either, because
and
Priest
for
can
the
go on his own way, hit the Royal Rumble, and then circle
that's
around.
True. That's true.
Yeah, and I just sense that the man who's going to see, it's hard seeing Gunther be dethroned this early, but still, to me, the man who's going to beat Gunther they may not do it in their first match with him. Same with Roman. Like Roman had his first match with Cody, he lost, and you're not gonna like. It's like you have to figure out Gunter and Roman Reigns. Like you have to have
Right.
the first match with them, understand where you went wrong, and then go. But this will be their third match, so Priest will know him like that, and I think that's how he will take the title off of him because
Right.
he figured him out.
Next up, this is one that a lot of you have, and some different variations to it as well. Cody Rhodes going in as champ versus Randy Orton, the undisputed championship match. This is your penultimate main event. Talk to
Mm.
me.
Yes, just the ultimate match for Cody Rhodes' reign. I believe I've said that before to where, anytime there's a new champ and everything, I always sense like, okay, what's the biggest match they can have? And this might be it. I mean, there may be some other names, for the title, but Cody's already had a lot of matches. He even faced Gunter, and I think by this time, like I always said, like Randy's the biggest match for him. Now, I think ultimately because this is his biggest match, unless he like turns heel or something at this point and then starts going against baby faces, I could see him losing the title right here to where Randy Orton gets another championship win. And, maybe that leads into, the final match between, I think Randy will be Cena's final match, and that's how Cena breaks the record. Like, uh, on his way out. I don't know. But,
I can
it's
see
like
it.
that was a thought. But that's just either
Yeah,
way.
but if Cody won this though, that'd be a huge win, and it'd be like kind of like where they were part of Legacy together in like
Yeah.
2009. Like it'd be kind of like the student beats the teacher type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'm split. But it's also just the fact that it is like this is Cody's biggest match, like he's gonna have. So I'm like, unless he, like I said, unless he turns heel and start facing a bunch of, the baby faces, like where do you go from here after, if he does beat him? So I don't know. That's the only reason why I sense Randy might take the win here.
All right.
But
And
it's a split.
then,
This is a split.
yeah, I like your thought process here. I do. Uh, your main event for WrestleMania 41, Tribal Combat, The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Hmm.
If not now, if not now, never.
Yep. Literally, that's like we have been waiting for this for like, or been speaking about this for like 4 years, ever since that man became
Mhm.
the tribal chief. And this is legit. Like, this is the biggest match Roman can have. I just said biggest match for Cody. This is the biggest match Roman can have. And like, it's time. It's time. This is the Mania. Roman just is always just has to be in the main event. There's no bigger opponent. It's in Vegas. We thought the perfect time was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, but no, it's
It
this
wasn't
time.
last year.
We need to get it done. Yeah, yeah,
And it is kind of crazy too because like this is no longer the people's champ, the blah blah blah.
yeah.
This is the final
Yeah.
boss
And a
rush.
babyface
So
Roman.
so Roman was like through the whole pandemic and past that, this was Roman's WWE. Now The Rock comes back and says, "No, I'm part ownership or whatever of TKO." Like now it's like we're gonna see whose WWE this really is.
Right.
Like, is it the final bosses or the tribal chiefs? Like I like that
Well,
match.
speaking of whose WWE it is, we're going to turn things over. Thank you very much, Ty. We're going to turn things over to our champion because now this is your WrestleMania, Joey. Are you ready?
Oh God, yeah, I feel like I'm the king of my world right now. This is your mania,
Mhm.
Joey. You said the matches.
Night one. Clusterfuck four-way elimination match for the tag teams of
Elimination. I
Motor
like
City
it.
Machine Guns. Yeah, I like that too. Going in as the WWE Tag Team Champions versus DIY versus Legado del Fantasma, which I seem to have spelled with a P there, unfortunately, and the OC.
Huh.
So talk to us.
Yeah, so I did. So I did this because like I like the elimination style matches, and I feel like if you get rid, like okay, I can see like maybe the OC and the LTB, I mean LDF, going out like first two teams, and then you get down to those two teams that Okay, these two teams survived it all. It's winner take all at this point, and I really like DIY and MG or MCMG, so I can see them two surviving the four way and then coming down to them, and Motor City Machine Guns coming out with the
I
win. Their first Mania, their first big opportunity in WWE, maybe their biggest opportunity in years. This would be their moment to be like, okay, I see what these guys are
it's a
about.
good statement to kind of come out swinging with your tag teams. I will say all of you can go fuck yourselves when it came to picking these tag teams as champions that have not held those
Oh, come
championships
on.
yet or don't have renders for them. The only reason I say that is because it's so hard to figure out how to like position things for a graphic to make it look good. So if in that
This
respect,
is why
fuck
most
you
people
guys.
hire a graphic guy. This is why most people hire a graphic guy. But no, I didn't do it as an fu to you. This is also a good way to get people on the card that wouldn't have a match otherwise. Because I don't see Angel and Garzo or Anderson and Gallows at this point having a match
Yeah,
unless it's in a
yeah,
match like
Right.
yeah.
this. So this gets them that payday. This gets them that, hey, you've been here for so many years. Like, let's give you a moment to shine on the biggest stage of the year. So that's why I did it. Like,
You know,
I did it for a lot of reasons, but like it gives Motor City Machine Guns that win, and it gives all the other three teams something to do on that
Right.
day and make their WrestleMania card and get a payday.
All right.
Everybody wins in my
Well,
situation.
speaking of people getting
you know
paid,
what I really?
oh, what was that?
I was just randomly thinking, but you know, I realized I didn't put Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens on my WrestleMania.
No,
That's
you did
crazy.
not. You
Maybe they're in the
monster.
Battle Royal.
You
That's a
asshole.
crime. That's a crime.
Fucking
I hate that. Ah,
right?
man, I
Well-
hate that. Let's move on.
Yeah. Speaking of people getting paid, I like this match. We have a mixed trios match between the LWO, consisting of Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, and Zelina Vega, versus Judgment Days,
Mm.
Finn Balor, Dom Mysterio, and Liv Morgan with JD on the outside. I like this.
So I did this because I think we're far from seeing Dominic and Ray over with. It's got to end maybe like the year after this or something, Mask versus Mustache or something. But I don't think we're done. Yeah, I don't think we're done seeing Ray and Dominic yet. Uh, this would be a good three-way mixed tag match, and JD's on there obviously because he can't get off Finn Balor's ass. He's got to be following him around everywhere.
Speaking of which, take
Um,
note of Finn Balor's expression again. This is going to be a running theme.
I know. Look like his car got
Yeah,
egged by a
he's
link.
mad already.
But no, like this. But like I don't really remember Selena Vega having a Mania moment. If she did,
No.
it blew past me. This would be a great way for Ray to kind of pass that lucha libre mask type of persona over to Dragon Lee. JD's on the card, gets some spotlight. Balor and Dom.
And just to be clear,
Everyone here gets some spotlight, but Dragon and Vega mainly get their
yeah,
big moment.
and just to be clear, who's winning this match?
The
Okay.
Judgment Day.
You monster.
Just because
So he gets the entrance.
I am big on Dominic right now. Like,
Yeah.
say what you will, but Dominic
He's
is
awesome.
one of the hottest things going on in WWE, no matter what you do with him. And I really like him, so I'd like to see him. Didn't they win last year against Ray, or did
No,
Ray's team
Ray's
win against
team
them
won
again?
last year.
Okay, I was thinking, so this might be where he gets that first somewhat of a win over his dad,
All right. Well,
maybe by roll
I
up or
really
something.
like your next match because you did something nobody has ever done with it. You have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with the winner receiving either an IC or a U.S. Championship title shot on night 2. So I really like how you set it up here.
Mm.
Talk to me about the match.
So the Andre the Giant Battle Royal's not really showcased like it once was, like when Cesaro won it all the way back 10
Right.
years ago. And I feel like this would be a way to make it matter again. Okay, so you lost the Royal Rumble and didn't get the world title match. You can still somehow be in a battle royal of some sort, win a secondary title shot, and still be at Mania. And and I know we didn't have the room, but I put like a bunch of names on here too, just to be
Yeah,
specific.
which, by the way, you're an
Um,
asshole because you added Baron Corbin to that list after he was released.
Well, actually, no. I think I sent this to you
I'm
before the
pretty
release.
sure you sent it to me after. But
All I know is this was October 25th, and I think he got released earlier this month. Um, but I mean, I had like a bunch of people in here, and I came out with Obafemi winning
which I like.
because if you think about Andre the Giant, I'm thinking about like monsters, and there's only so many of them on the roster now, like Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, and there's Obafemi. And I think if you really want to put him on the main roster, have him come in from NXT. Along with a bunch of other people here. I mean, on my list, there are NXT, SmackDown, and Raw
Right.
guys. So it's not just like he's the only NXT guy on here. I mean, you got people like Ethan Page, Rich Holland, Cedric, Wesley. You got a bunch of
It
NXT
is interesting
names.
that
So,
both of you, and just to frame this for everybody who may not be familiar, these picks, I'm the only one who knew about any of this. So it's interesting that you both added not only the Andre the Giant Memorial to the show, which hasn't been on in years, but also both of you picked Obafemi to win it.
two great
Yeah,
minds, great minds think
I
alike.
couldn't think of a better choice to win this. But like literally what Joey was
Well,
saying. Like, of course there's other monsters, but I'm just like this is the guy. And if he debuts or gets on the main roster before then it's a perfect choice.
Right.
well, like I said, you want to make the memory of Andre the Giant proud, and uh, and I think this would be a good way to do it. And plus, like I said, if you want to bring him in on the main roster, you bring him in with a bunch of NXT, Raw, and SmackDown guys. You think someone from Raw or SmackDown is going to win that main title, that main mid card title challenge, whatever. And then you have Obafemi win it, and it's like, okay, he won this. He's going for a secondary title. He's going to now be on Raw or SmackDown, whichever title he chooses. He's going to be on them shows starting like that week after
All
Mania.
right.
So it's a good, because them Raw and SmackDown after Manias are huge shows. So how else do you get bigger than bringing in a big guy like Oba from NXT and just debut him this way?
Well, we do need to move on. Next up, again, we have Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Rhea's going in as champ, Women's World Championship match.
Hmm.
I got Rhea winning this one because Rhea's been like ever since she's joined the Judgment Day, like her stock has risen. She's been like one of the hottest things on Raw, and her and Raquel, I think they're both gonna get into it. This is where it's gonna, you know, I don't know if this is necessarily where their story would end, but if that's the case, uh, I think this is where Raquel, like Liv's already in the other match, so Raquel has to do something.
Right.
I think this is where Liv's feud with Rhea will kind of like rub off on Raquel. She'll get that big WrestleMania match. She ain't gonna win it. It's gonna be Rhea, but it's a good way for Rhea to go out there and show you what Raquel has, and for the fans to leave happy knowing Rhea kept her title.
All right. Next up, John Cena's
It's
last
gonna be
match.
Mommy Mania.
Oh, I got Mommy Mania for you, but we'll get to me later.
I bet you do.
John Cena's last match versus Randy Orton.
So I got here because we have only seen them go at a Mania, I think, one time.
They've
I'm correct,
never faced
and
each
that
other
was-
in a singles match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but we've never seen them go one on one. Like the only time I can remember them going off was WrestleMania 24, which seems like decades ago, and that was with Triple H in the mix. We've never seen them wrestle one on one at Mania. I think at one point fans were getting sick of seeing these guys face each other, and now I think it's at that point where it's like Cena's going, Orton's probably not going to be around forever. If we're going to get that one ruthless aggression match that we're waiting for, this would be it. And I honestly see Cena winning. Orton's going to be around after this. He can come back and turn heel, win a title, do something. But Cena's last Mania, I could not honestly see Orton being okay with taking that victory. I think they have so much respect for each other. Orton would want to, kind of control the match and be like, no, I'm not winning this match from you. You got to win
Right.
this. And that's how Yeah, and plus Cena winning his last match at Mania, that's what fans want. Even if you're one of the people that say Cena sucks, like, you still don't want to see Cena lose his last match at Mania. You want to see him go out and have that celebrating moment.
Yeah,
So then,
Plus he's my hero. Plus he's my hero, so I'm Team Cena all
this
the way.
was extremely hard not to put on WrestleMania because damn, I want to see this too. Like this is my
Me
childhood
too.
dream. Like my two goats going against each other, finally getting their one-on-one match. The what at this point in their career. But the only reason I didn't go with this, because I probably should have gone with this to be honest, is because I think that Randy would be Cena's last match, and like
You want to talk
even though I want
about
to see
cinema
this.
too? Like, think about the video. You talk about cinema too. Think about the video package they can put
yeah.
together with years of. I mean, just going through and it's being like, here's the score between Cena and Orton, and you're just going through tallying up the wins and losses.
We do need to move on.
Talk about cinema.
But yes, I totally agree. This is absolutely my childhood too, and I have some stuff to say about it a little later on. Next up, Maxine Dupree and KC2 versus Damage Control in a trio showcase. I called it.
Hey, you spell control right.
I did. I gotta ask, how the hell? Because you do this every year, where you throw a bunch of women into a match and just throw it at the wall. So how the hell did you get Maxine Dupree and KC2 together?
Well, I think Maxine and the KC2, if that's what you call them. Is that what they call themselves?
I mean, that's what the internet calls them. They don't have a name officially.
Okay.
It's Casey Catanzaro and Katana Chance.
So really,
Carter,
this match was like Damage Control has a place in here. The reason I put the other two girls together was just because they're all three baby faces, and none of them really have a WrestleMania memorable moment. And that's if they have a moment at WrestleMania at all. So, I have them winning this match, and it's just a feel-good match. You know, everyone gets their moment. More names on the card, and three people who don't have a Mania moment compared to these other three girls. They get to get that WrestleMania victory feeling and walk away.
It's a feel-good graphic for Joey.
No way, my feel-good graphic is Nia Jax all over.
Well, I'm sorry, I spoke too soon. This next match is the feel-good graphic for you. I apologize. Brock Lesnar versus Jacob Fatu.
Oh my
How
God.
do we get here?
Okay, so I'll be quick about it, but we have all this bloodline stuff going on, and you got plans for Roman later on in the card, and the Usos in the card, and Solo in the card. It's like, okay, where do you put Jacob Fatu here? I think since Brock Lesnar, or I think since Paul Heyman is out of the picture right now, I think this is where like Paul Heyman rallies all the troops to take down the bloodline version that took him out, and he's got Roman and the Usos and everyone fighting for him, but it's like, okay, Jacob Fatu thinks there's no one left for him. Well, the Beast Incarnate's coming back, and like, yeah, you might be a big werewolf, but I want to see the Samoan werewolf take on the Beast Incarnate in just a nasty ass match. And I got Brock Lesnar win this match just because it'd be his first match back in a while. And I want to see like Jacob go in there thinking like, oh, I'm gonna eat this beast alive. And it's like, buddy, you ain't been in WWE. You obviously ain't been in the ring with Brock, so you don't know what he's capable of. I want to see Brock Lesnar humble the shit out of Jacob Fatu.
All right. I mean, I enjoy,
and the only way and the only way we know Brock knows how. We've seen him beat Cena with 16 suplexes. I want to see Brock go in here and be like, "You think you're gonna make me your bitch, bro? You don't know who I am. I'm Brock."
I enjoy this booking. I do. I think we need to move on as a community from Brock Lesnar. He's not needed anymore. We have so many other.
It's inevitable.
We don't need him. He's the new Goldberg.
It's not the fact that we need him or not. It's not the fact. That's not the point. When he returns, the roof is going to go off the place. Like it better be a roofless stadium because it's not going to happen by the end of the night.
All right. Well, your night one main event we have Gunther going in as World Heavyweight Champion versus Braun Breaker. I love that you gave two guys who have never main evented WrestleMania. One of them never even been on WrestleMania. I love that you gave them the main event here. So tell me about the match.
Excuse me. Well, Gunther's world champion, and I think he's been doing okay with it, but he ain't really had that huge contender as of late. I mean, his biggest was Randy Orton, but we all knew Orton wasn't taking it off him
I'd
at
argue
that point.
Cody.
Cody Rhodes, I don't even argue because that wasn't a world title challenge. That was a different title, different challenge. So at some point, Gunther, he's going to have to step it up and put his title on the line against someone that matters. Braun Breaker's already, like, week by week proven that he's, in his own words, a badass. I don't see him being Intercontinental Champion at this time, but I think I did. I don't know if I put him down as my Rumble winner or not. I might have. I'm not sure. Do you remember?
No, I don't think you had him as your Rumble winner.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. But I do. But I do see him going up against Gunther and becoming the new champ, because that's what Mania is about. WrestleMania is about making new stars, new champs, new moments. I think if Gunther walked away world champion, it's like, okay, we got another successful Gunther title victory. But in the long run, it would have benefited Braun and Gunther better if Braun won. So I see Braun winning and, doing something his dad's never did, his uncle never did, going to WrestleMania and winning that big world title. Like, somewhere in the Steiner family, it's got to happen. Why not now with Braun Breaker?
All right. Moving on, night 2. Carrying on from night 1, we have Obafemi going in to an Intercontinental Championship match with The Miz, who I'm assuming would become
The Miz.
Would that be 10-time then? Intercontinental Championship?
Yeah, he would tie. I think he would tie Jericho at 9.
Oh, okay. I thought,
but WWE could use that and say, like, he's the guy with the most reigns. Like, that way they wouldn't have to bring up Jericho's name.
Yeah,
so much.
I get that, but I love this match.
So that's where I'm coming from. Oba would obviously go to Raw, and Miz. My thought process behind this is Miz would win the title, like, the pay-per-view before Mania, and he would hold the title for about a month. He'd brag around about being 9-time champion. He would never defend the title. He would brag about being the best, and then he come out in old Miz in Miz fashion, like, I dare anyone to come out and challenge me. Well, here's the guy that earned that opportunity the night before. He has a right to show up. It's not just like throwing Shane McMahon out there at WrestleMania 39. Like, what the fuck? What kind of match is this going on out of nowhere? No, this is a match that Oba's earned. Oba's taking his shot. And I would like to see him not just face The Miz, but just ragdoll The Miz.
And win the match.
And just win the match. Miz gets no offense. Miz might try a kick or two, and it doesn't affect the big man, and Oba walks away IC champ, and he's on Raw now.
First Mania, and he wins twice. I love it.
And plus he makes that Andre the Giant Battle Royal and the title both mean something simultaneously at WrestleMania 41. So it's a lot of pressure on him, but I think he can do it.
Next up, we have, again, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk Beat the Dead Horse match.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I mean, we all know how we got here. This feud is bound to happen. But I picked Seth Rollins as my winner only because I think it's fair. Okay, Seth Rollins has been the workhorse, even during the Shield days and post-Shield days. Rollins has been the workhorse for WWE in the past 10 years. CM Punk's been gone for all that time. And if anything, I mean, I might be a little biased. I'm not really a big CM Punk fan no more since he let this hang in drying. But if CM Punk is going to come back and give it and pay his dues and pretty much say, like, okay, I'm sorry, I got to pay my dues, I got to give that win to somebody, it's got to be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the workhorse of our generation, I think. done more. I mean, he's made so much history in the past 10 years. If he ain't a bona fide Hall of Famer, I don't know what is. But him beating Punk would really put a stamp on this is my house, and I'm not letting you come. We all know Rollins. He could play this off like, down to the last drop, nothing left, out of the blue curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, and
That
Rollins gets that WrestleMania moment he
Seth
deserves.
is that guy.
He's had plenty
Seth
of
is that guy.
Yeah, Seth is that guy.
Next up.
He's up there as far as I can say one of John Cena's last opponents too.
Next up, we got Logan Paul versus LA Knight going in as champ, United States Championship, round 2.
Yeah.
I love this match.
So
I really do.
So I got this listed as Logan Paul versus LA Knight 2 because this would be, I think,
I said round
match.
2.
I think this, I'm just saying I have it listed as like, Paul versus Knight 2 because we saw last time we saw him, it was like the opposite. Knight was taking the title off him. I think we see. I think we don't see Logan Paul return for a while, and then LA Knight maybe. I still see Knight as the face here, but I think I see Logan Paul coming out saying like, I never got my rematch, and we fought at the second biggest show ever. That was SummerSlam. Now we're gonna do it on my rematch on my terms at WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, and I see LA Knight. I see LA Knight obviously winning, but this is where Logan Paul would just like if you think about it, Knight was the one showing up in his swimming pools in his house. I think this is where we'd see a brutal Logan Paul, attacking him in parking lots, trying to make sure he doesn't even make it to Mania, and then somehow Knight shows up through all the beating and the batterings and pulls out the victory. But it's a good way to give Logan Paul that rematch and show a more vicious side of him than we've ever seen.
All right.
I should now knowing what we know now, I should have made Mike Tyson the referee.
A lot of people have been saying that Logan Paul is going to fight Mike Tyson at WrestleMania.
I want to see it, but worst case scenario, I should have put him as referee or in LA Knight's corner.
Next up, we have Truth and Consequences, aka R-Truth and Damian Priest, versus the New Day going in as champions versus the Wyatt Six of Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus American Made or the Creeds. World Tag Team Title 4-way ladder match.
Why'd you choose those photos of the Six?
Because that's who they are.
It's creepy though.
Wait,
it's supposed to be creepy.
Why did I pick who?
So you picked.
No, I asked Jesse why you chose.
Oh, them two, the Six.
That pick of the Six. They just look creepy, man.
Just because I think Dexter and Eric would make a kick-ass tag team. So I went with this because it took me back to my 2016 Monday Night Raw days where, they just had a mixed match of teams just being thrown out there against each other, and it was like, I don't know, it was kind of awkward, but you were there to watch it. I think this is a good way of getting them all in a decent match, which is a ladder match. I got Truth and Priest winning just because I think that would be like the most popular opinion. Everybody wants to see Priest win a title again. R-Truth, there's no loss there. Him winning a title, you can't lose. So I'd like to see them as a team and just go out there and have that dark, demented Priest, and then that goofy. They were gold in the Judgment Day for their bit. So I'd like to see that captured again. I also say that they're going to win this ladder match because this is where I would see maybe Xavier turning on Kofi. They lose the ladder match. Damian and them's walking up with the titles. The other two teams are laid out on the side of the ring. They're hugging in the ring, low blow. I mean, we saw Shinsuke and AJ at WrestleMania 35, I think, do it. This is where I would see Xavier saying, "It's okay, man. It's okay." Low blow. It's not okay.
All right.
New Day ends at WrestleMania. What
I really
stage?
like this next match. We have.
You like a lot.
I know I do. I think you did good. We have a WWE Women's World and WWE Women's Tag Team Tag Team Championship Trios match, winner take all. You have Tiffany
Yeah.
Stratton, your women's Royal Rumble winner, with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair going in as tag champions versus Nia Jax going in as women's Universal champion. I think is, or not Universal, but undisputed or WWE, whatever the
Women's-
fuck they call that belt.
Just the women's title. They call it just the women's title.
And then the team of Green and Niven as well. So I really like this match.
So
it's creative.
So here's how I got to it. It actually took a lot of thought process. I was like, what am I going to do with this match? Well, this is where Tiffany would win the Rumble and Nia and her would split up. I think Chelsea and Piper Niven, I think they've both been on the kind of this wanting that tag team title.
So
kick.
I'm assuming with the way you have it set up that Tiffy cashes in on the Women's World Championship and loses that match. Is that how you got it?
I don't know how we get to that point. All I know is at this point she does not have the Money in the Bank. In my mind, she unsuccessfully cashed in. So now the Rumble is her second chance, and she's not going to screw it up. If they win, if Nia's team wins, she remains champ, and Piper and Chelsea become tag champs. If Tiffany wins, if Tiffany's team wins, Tiffany's champ, and they're still tag champs. I see Tiffany and their team winning just because it would be a huge moment. I think everyone would love to see Bianca keep her title. Belair gets a big title victory out of it as well, and then you get the title put on Tiffany like everybody wants to see it. So, I mean, either way, no matter who wins this match, there's a new champion guaranteed. And it's like, okay, damn near almost all the women's gold other than Rhea's world title is on the line here. Like, big stakes, Las Vegas, high rollers. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. We're at Las Vegas,
I feel
and
the
everything's
vibe
at stake here.
All
yeah.
Right.
But Tiffany and Cargill and Belair winning.
Next up, you got a trios match. The OGs, the OG Bloodline versus the New Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn and the Usos versus Solo and the Tongans. Talk to us.
So this kind of falls in the Brock and Jacob, and then later on the main event. But this is like, a Bloodline WrestleMania, Bloodline versus Bloodline almost. And this is where I see like the OGs coming together again and saying like, it ain't like War Games where Roman's involved. Like, this is like, hey, this is our moment to go out and do this ourselves. And same thing for Solo and the Tongas. Like, this is a way for the undercard of the Bloodline, if that's what you'd like to call it, getting their spotlight. And I have Owens and Zayn, the Usos and Zayn winning just because they are the OG Bloodline members. And this is where this WrestleMania, this event is where the new Bloodline will be humbled, starting with Brock Lesnar and Jacob, and that continues right here with Zayn and the Usos.
I like
winning.
it. Next up, here is your Royal Rumble winner, AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion, versus Kevin Owens in a WWE Undisputed Triple Threat title match.
So I got here because Kevin Owens is obviously heel and has it out for Cody. We got to see them come together again at some point, so I like to see that be at Mania. I put AJ in there too because I'm not going to lie, I realized at this point I didn't have him anywhere in the card. And I was like, no, it's like it kind of makes sense to put AJ in this match because he hasn't won a Rumble match yet. And like, you got to think, through every title he's won, I mean, like IGP titles, GMI Classics and all this, I mean, I think it'd just be a cherry on top for what AJ's career is going to be coming down. Like, AJ's not going to be wrestling for another 2 years, right. I think. So if he's going to go out, give him that big Rumble victory that he doesn't need, but I think he deserves, and put him in, and that way he does find himself in the world title picture. I do have Cody winning just because he just won the title last year. I think he's still got a lot to prove with the title, and I think this would be more of a Kevin Owens and AJ Styles costing each other the match, and Cody being able to, like, maybe a stunner to AJ and then crossroads to Cody or to Kevin, and Cody walks away with the
All
title.
right. And then last up, main event time. You got Bloodline Rules, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Interesting that you two had different settings for the match. One of you had Tribal Combat, the other
I know,
had
right?
Bloodline Rules.
Who did Tribal
I
Combat?
think
I think Jay and Roman did Tribal Combat, right?
Yeah.
And then Bloodline
Yep.
Rules was Roman and Cody.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's two different types of Bloodline matches, but it all goes to the same two people. So I really like how you set it up. But tell me about the match.
So I got here because, like I said about ties, this is a different Rock, new final boss Rock, and I think it's gonna come down to like what we saw at Bad Blood, the Rock coming out and Roman kind of giving him that look. Like, I think it's gonna come down to, like, I came back to join the bloodline and you let us down, and I think it's gonna turn into something where, like, Rock tells Roman, like, this ain't your WWE anymore, it's mine. Roman's gonna come out and tell him, like, there is no WWE without me. And it's just gonna all accumulate to this match. Like, okay, well, whose quote unquote WWE is it? Is it The Rock's or Roman's? Now, The Rock, we all know he's part of TKO. We all know he's gonna leave for Hollywood after this match. So, to me, my pick is Roman, because Roman's not really gotten that victory since last Mania. I mean, if anything, I think he's won a tag team title match, and we'll see how War Games goes, but he ain't really got that high victory yet. And I think this is where Roman will, he'll already be Tribal Chief once again with that necklace, although he's always going to be Tribal Chief. But I think this is where he's going to prove once again, I don't need a title to main event WrestleMania. I don't need a title to prove that this is my WWE and that I'm Tribal Chief. And if he's got to put down his own cousin, one of the bosses in WWE, to do it, he's gonna do what it takes. And I do have, by the way, even though it's not in the graphic, I do have it saying that Roman Reigns is with Paul Heyman.
I'm sorry.
Paul Heyman will be here. Yeah, you're good. But Paul Heyman will be there in Roman's corner, and that will just set the tone. Like, we got the Roman and Paul back together again. This is a main event match you don't want to miss. Rock's going back to Hollywood. Roman's going to be the one to kick him back there.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, we can't really hear you.
Hear me what?
We can't really hear you, Ty.
Me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Is it getting any better? Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Well,
now.
I was just gonna say, it'd be very. Me and my brother were talking about this. It'd be very interesting if, like, say Paul was with The Rock going into this match, especially since he's the heel. That'd just be, yeah.
Maybe The Rock, like, manipulated him, and at the very end, he's like, I can't do this, and he signs back with Roman.
Maybe this should be a ladder match for the custody of Paul Heyman.
Heyman and a Shark King.
Yeah.
That should have been Brock and Roman at their Mania match. That's what should have.
All right. So thank you, Joey, for your WrestleMania card. I appreciated that very much. I will say, from last year to this year, I liked this year's card way better. Like, you still had your weird women's match in there. I think that's just a staple of yours. But other than that, there's not a match here that I wouldn't be entertained by.
Hey, you should just be lucky I didn't add a bra and panty stipulation.
And we will cut that out.
Oh, come on.
Next up, my WrestleMania Vegas. WrestleMania 41, Night 1. Kicking things off with the Andre the Giant Memorial. You need a good curtain jerker for Night 1. So what better than the Memorial? I have Ilya Dragunov winning here. I think he would be a great man to put his name on that trophy. And he's a legitimate ass kicker that could go around after the fact and do something with it if WWE lets him. But I don't have a ton to say about it. Like, it is what it is. I think it would be good to see the Battle Royal return to WrestleMania instead of being on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Next up,
that kind of waters it down.
The real first match, I would say, of Night 1. Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill, straight up singles match, blood feud. They've lost the titles, of course, by now, and now they're just hotter, hot blooded and out for revenge, going for each other's throats. I think this would be a great WrestleMania match. And of course, Bianca does not lose at WrestleMania, so I would have her win here. But I would have Jade win the feud. I would like to see this be like a trio of matches with them, and I think putting Jade over, having her win 2-1, but at least let Bianca have the Mania match, I think would be good. Next up, I have an open challenge for the World Tag Titles, and that is the War Raiders going in as champ. And at this point in time, I would not have the Motor City Machine Guns as champs over on SmackDown. I would still have them on SmackDown, but I think it'd be really cool to see somebody from the other show answer the open challenge. And I would actually have the Motor City Machine Guns win the titles here, transfer over to Raw, and kind of bolster that tag division.
I like this because it's probably like it's both their first Manias, right? Vikings haven't been in a Mania yet, right?
Yeah,
I don't think they have.
remember them being on Mania before.
Nah, it'd be their first Mania too.
And of course, if you guys got comments, jump in here. Like, I know I'm narrating my own thing here, but Joey, any comments for this? Yeah, do you have any comments on this match?
Just that it's like, it's kind of random thrown out there, but I mean, like, so a lot of my matches, so I mean, I really can't complain.
I was just telling Ty, if you guys have any comments on my matches, feel free to chirp in, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself here, so.
I do like that they're known as the War Raiders again. I mean, like, that's a huge plus for them. Like, I can now see, like, what you mean by, like, how hard it is to put the titles on them, because, like, oh my god, like,
hey, I made it work.
It looks like they just kidnapped. It looks like they went to, like, their Thanksgiving feast and just walked away with the titles. Like, we're new champs.
All right, next up, I have Rey Mysterio with the LWO versus Chad Gable with American Made. This is a singles match that will turn into like an outside the ring brawl with the other trios, but just in the ring, it's Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable. I think it could be a really fun match.
Wow.
I do like how it's Ray versus Chad, and they're like not even like the main people on the photo. They're on the side as if they're the managers.
Well, no.
That'd actually be a great match. Like Ray versus Chad at Mania.
Oh, I kind of see where you're coming from.
And I would have Chad winning this match. I think he deserves to take that kind of nod from Ray at Mania.
Thank you.
To be honest, I am surprised like the LWOs lasted this many Manias.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte going in as WWE Women's Champion. I would have her taking the title off of Nia Jax in her return match, because that's what Charlotte does.
Okay.
And then Tiffany
she does
cashes
that a lot.
in on Charlotte for Mania. So she like calls her shot.
Really?
And obviously, yeah. So
nice.
she holds it all the way through until Mania, and she cashes in on Charlotte and says, "I want to face you at Mania. I am your WrestleMania opponent." Kind of like what John Cena did, only do it successfully.
God, the fact that you have Charlotte as champion again, just
death, taxes, and Charlotte winning a return match for a title.
Yeah, she has to hold that title. That's a new title. She has to hold it. She has to be seen with it.
Everybody has that. Like it's like ice cream. Everybody has their favorite flavor and opinions. Me, I just am so sick of Charlotte Flair. Like, she's not even around, and I'm sick of her. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to see her top her dad's record, like how she is. It's like they literally put the title on her and cost her it just to put it back on her at some point. Like, come on, girl. Like, put a struggle up. But I mean, I do kind of miss her though. Like, if you think about it, Rhea Ripley is like mainly the most dominant woman on the roster, I think, at this point. I think they need that dominance back, and Charlotte Flair, whether you like her or hate her, does bring that dominance.
All right. I think you guys will like this
I like the
match.
match.
This is one of a handful of trios matches that I will treat you to during my WrestleMania.
Mm.
Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker going in as IC champion versus Braun Strowman Intercontinental Triple Threat.
Braun
Festival of meat.
versus Bronson.
Braun, and Braun.
Jesus, I see what you did. Yeah, I see what you did there.
Tell me.
This match is sponsored by Brawny.
Tell me this match wouldn't rule. Like, memes aside, tell me this match wouldn't be fucking amazing.
It actually would. It would be amazing.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be amazing, but I'm just saying this reminds me of that Spider-Man meme where they're all three looking at each other. Like, dude, I can't go into this match and take it 100%.
Well,
seriously.
the action,
the
action of the match will make you take it seriously.
Yeah, that's true. It's just if WWE did this, I'd be like, oh my god, like, you are so freaking obvious right now. I'm probably gonna love this match. Don't get me wrong, but
it'd just be funny. Oh.
All right.
Now, who wins?
So I would have Braun Breaker retaining.
What? Okay.
All right.
Now that would be cool. See Braun Breaker defeat these two monsters like that. I'd be down to see.
It would be a festival of meat. You could have Big E on commentary, sitting there like getting all like hopped up, eating his popcorn. Next up,
WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. This is each of my nights of Mania has a double main event. So this is night one's first main event. John Cena versus Randy Orton, John Cena's last WrestleMania match. I think there's no other match for John at Mania. I think he needs to lose his retirement match to a young guy.
Boo.
No, listen, to a young guy like Braun Breaker, for instance. That should be his retirement match, and he should pass that torch. But for WrestleMania, there's nobody other than Randy Orton, in my opinion. And I think John should win his last WrestleMania match. So I don't want it to be Braun here. I want it to be Randy, who has such a story.
I know I made my match and everything, but I agree with what you just said. There is no other match. It's that match.
I like how we both have like different versions. I have like the last time ever, and you have Cena's last WrestleMania match. Still same thing.
Yeah, we're saying the same things, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, you can't say that this is like. I mean, I'm not saying Cena or Orton couldn't face someone else and have a good match. It's just this is the match I think everybody either wants to see or expects to see.
All right, and then night one's main event, the true main event. Gunther going in as World Heavyweight Champion versus Damian Priest, my Royal Rumble winner.
Yes.
Featuring Drew McIntyre. The reason I say featuring Drew McIntyre. Now, listen. The reason I say that is because I would not have Drew come back at the Rumble. He's been out since the Hell in a Cell match. I would keep him out all that time up until Mania. And then here is where he would come back after the match. I would have Priest win it here. And I would have Drew come out and confront him at the end of that match. Because I think that igniting that feud again would be really good. And I'm not saying either of them has to be babyface or heel. I think just two of them could stand on their characters and be those people, not have to be face, not have to be heel, and just be two WWE badasses.
It just looks like a WrestleMania movie starring Gunther and Damian Priest, and also featuring Drew McIntyre.
Well, that's what it is. It's cinema.
You know what's crazy?
It's like the Leave It to Beaver opening, where it's like, and the Beaver.
You know what match I almost went with? I almost went with like Drew facing Gunther for the title of Mania, just because Drew's been on fire as of late, and then I was gonna do to be honest, Priest and Rhea versus Balor and JD for the tag titles, and Priest and Rio win the tag titles at Mania. I think that'd be amazing.
I was gonna say Oba versus Naya, just so Jesse would have to put together.
All right. So then, night 2. The Usos with Sami Zayn versus the Tongans with Jacob Fatu going in as WWE Tag Team Champions. Tribal Combat for the for the WWE Tag Titles.
It looks like toy titles on their shoulders again.
Their whole so
And then
he's got it on. So
Sammy's just in the background.
yeah. Tama's got it on his shoulder. Loa's holding it.
I know. It just looked like they bought these titles off the WWE shop and was like, "Oh, look, we got a."
Are you gonna pick apart my graphics, or are you gonna make them next time?
They're just funny. They're just funny to look at, especially Jacob looking back there like, "Where am I at on this card?"
So, anyways, I almost see this as like a third main event for night 2 as the curtain jerker. This is the match that's gonna get everybody excited. I would have the Usos winning here. I think Sami Zayn and Jacob Fatu as the enforcers would be a really cool dynamic because I wanted to give both of them something on the show. But I thought they would.
And they'll probably get involved.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to get involved. But you know, the new bloodline always has the numbers game. And so I think the Usos reaching out to Sami here to get that, you know, equalizer, I think would be it would be good all around. And again, Usos winning the titles here. I think that would just be a good way to start night 2. Next up, we have the Women's United States Championship, a title that nobody but me predicted on WrestleMania. We have Bayley as the champion. I have her winning it as the first ever champ versus Chelsea Green with Piper Niven.
Oh.
I will say this. Either you predicted a United States title match or you edited this like right before. Because I would have had a U.S. title women's match on it too if the title was announced by the time I gave you my predictions. But I will say that I didn't even have Brett Bailey on my card.
Maybe that's where I messed up. Because I remember doing that when I was making my matches, like the women's U.S. title. It was going to be either Rhea defending against Raquel or Jade or Jade or whoever, or Bianca. That would be the U.S. women's title. But I think I took it off and just got confused.
Yeah, so I will say that I did add this in later on after it was announced. I didn't have it as close as them like popping up that bracket or anything. So I kind of predicted Bayley would win it before we even knew who was going to be in that tournament. But yes, this did come later on. I think this would be a great match, and I wouldn't mind seeing Chelsea Green win it. Like, I mean, Bayley
I think a lot of people wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I think Bayley is going in as champ would be great, you know, and she gets her a second moment for a second year in a row. But then Green finally going in, getting the recognition she deserves for everything she does. I think it would just be gold. You know, you could even have Matt Cardona come out afterwards and like celebrate with her.
Too bad Samantha Irving won't be there to announce Chelsea Green as the new title when she says new women's U.S. title. She can't do the voice. Can't do the voice.
Oh my God, I was waiting to see what they do with their theme song and the way they just like did it.
It's like, better. Okay, I don't hate it because it's supposed to be annoying. Like, like seriously, screw all the other entrance musics that do that crap. But Chelsea's is supposed to be annoying, so I like it.
And I do like how Tyreek called her Samantha Irving.
Is that what I said? I was probably stumbling over my words.
You called her not Irvin. You said Irving.
All right. Well, next up, I have to do a little explaining with this one. We have a 7-way United States title ladder match Santos Escobar versus
Okay.
Carmelo Hayes versus Solo Sikoa. LA Knight going in as champ versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul versus Andrade. So,
Look at the diversity here.
this is the entire spectrum of the SmackDown mid-card division. And
mid-card.
the way I have this booked is after the Tongans lose their titles, that's when Solo Sikoa looks at them. He's like, you guys failed us. We've lost gold. And now I am going to, get into this match. Because originally I have it booked as a 6-way, but he gets himself into the match to make it a 7-way. And I would have Solo win the match, because then that's going to add some drama to the new bloodline, where it's like, you guys failed and I went and fixed your failure by bringing gold back to the bloodline after you guys just lost it.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Solo, you are my tribal chief. I love you.
So any comments on it? Because I think this is
you covered
match.
all the I think it could be, especially with everybody in. I mean, you got Logan Paul, Carmelo, and Santos, like high flyers in there, and
you got your flyers.
I think Solo should win this match, though.
You got your 2 bruisers with Solo and Kevin. You got LA Knight, who's just everything.
Yeah.
Other than Logan Paul, this is like a huge like NXT show.
It is. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
From different, like you said, from different eras. But yeah. So I got Solo winning this. He wins the U.S. Championship. And of course, Rikishi would, cream himself on Twitter because he's always got to go to bat for his boys. I mean, he's a good dad. Next up,
my dad went to bat for me as much as Rikishi does his.
We got KC2 versus the Sky Pirates going in as champs versus Team 2001 versus the Unholy Union. Women's.
Is that their name, Team 2001?
Yes, so that is their name because they were both born.
They
were both born in 2001.
I was about to say.
Me too. I'm part of Team 2001.
Funny enough, Roxanne Perez actually holds the record for the youngest WWE talent to ever hold gold. And of course,
really?
What about Nicholas?
We don't count Nicholas, you jack.
Nah, that's the history books.
Now hold on.
But anyways,
I'm gonna test your history here. How old is she?
So I believe when she got that honor, she was 20. Because Randy Orton was 21, I believe.
One place you're wrong at is Renee Dupree held the tag team titles at 19 years old.
Well, I know I'm not wrong. So she must have been younger then, or she might have just been younger by a couple months than him. But either way, so I would have Team 2001. This is kind of like a call up for them. Like, say Roxanne loses her title at Stand and Deliver or something, and then they get added to this match or something, kind of like what happened with Sikoa, but in a very different way. But I think that they would do a lot to add to the WWE tag team division for women. So I think 2001 would be great to add in. And I wouldn't mind putting the title on them, just as a statement piece.
And
you could even have it so like, we went and we got the titles, and you think we're bringing them to NXT, but we're not. We're done here. We're going to the main roster. Screw all of you. I think
Don't get me wrong. Who's the? I'm not trying to be like away here, but who's the? I get their names mixed up. Who's the white one in KC2?
So that is
Chance?
Katana Chance, and then Caden Carter is the one with the colored hair all the time.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be mean here. She's a pretty girl, but God, I hate her jawline.
What?
Like, her chin, her jawline, like it's just, I don't know. It looks like every time I see her, it looks like it's like 2 seconds behind her face expressions. I just can't stand it.
Anyways, I think.
But she's a pretty girl.
I think this would be like one of those face melters. As it would be a good showcase for the women. You know, every single woman in this match
Yeah.
is in one way or another a tag team specialist, whether they've won gold
and a
or
lot of
they
first time manias.
yeah.
You could be a good showcase for the women.
Next up, the
What do you
Wyatt
mean by
Six
that? What do you
versus
mean?
the Judgment Day Firefly Playground
Yeah.
match. This is
Whoa.
That'd be cool.
this has got this has homage to Bray Wyatt written all over it. I'm not going to pretend like it's anything less. This is, you know, obviously the 4 guys and the 1 woman, you know, on each team going against each other in a no DQ falls count anywhere. You could dress it up even to, you know, be like Wyatt themed, but this is a tribute to Bray. I would
like
definitely
it.
have the Wyatts winning here. Any comments?
Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3.
Cross going over Liv. I like that. But
Yep.
Okay, so I dig the match and I dig the tribute. My only problem with it is Bray has passed. It's time to let it go. And I just feel like WWE is kind of like, you know, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of like just dragging it out. And I don't want to see. Right now, the Wyatt Six are hot. They're good. They got a good thing going. I don't want to see them lose their popularity and at some point just worst case scenario just tarnish the
I don't think this would tarnish
the memory
Bray.
of it.
I think this would be a beautiful tribute.
Match. No, I'm not saying the match. I mean, like, I think you could do something for Bray with it, but like maybe after this match, like, you know, kind of venture away.
I think that's what will happen.
It's kind
Because
of hard to do.
I think that's what will happen because I feel like maybe Bray gets into the Hall of Fame and that's how this match kind of manifests and everything, and then they'll start kind of steer away from that.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd be really hella cool if somehow during this match they did like a hologram type of thing, because Bray was all about that mystic stuff. I just like to see like the Wyatt Six getting the shit kicked out of him, and then all of a sudden this at the top of the title.
The way I see it happening,
hologram Bray Wyatt showing it. Like, how is this possible? How is Bray doing this? And then all of a sudden they pick up
the way
victory.
I see it
That'd
happening
be cool.
is Judgment Day the 6 come out and they do their entrance. Obviously, Howdy's carrying the lantern, and on the stage is Bray Wyatt's chair, stationary.
That'd be cool.
And he leaves the lantern by the chair, and then as they win the match, they are going up the ramp. The camera follows them, and then Bo picks up the lamp, takes it with him, and the camera follows him. But then as he goes into the back, it pans back to the chair, and the chair is rocking by itself. That's how I would have it done.
It is crazy though, because like we all have these Wyatt Six picks and stuff, and just think if it wasn't for Bray passing, we wouldn't even be discussing this right now. Like,
Well, and all the members of the 6 were handpicked by Bray, so that's important to remember.
The only thing I hate though is Luke Harper's not around.
Yeah.
Because this would be right up his alley. Like, I could see him wanting to leave AEW to come and be part of this.
All right.
Like,
well, again, we got to move on here. And I got to switch gears from all sentimental and everything to Mommy Mania. Mommy Mania. You will notice that there are 2 Royal Rumble winners here for the women. So I'm going to take you on a journey. We are in Indianapolis for the Women's Royal Rumble match. The last 2 are Jordynne Grace and Zarya. Sorry, my kid. So last 2 are Jordynne Grace and Zarya. They're up on the turnbuckle. They're fighting back, forth. Who's going to fall? And they recreate to a T the John Cena Batista finish. And only this time, there's no fucking Vince McMahon running down, blowing his quads, restarting the match.
Breaking his.
It's
his quad.
announced that they are co-winners of the Royal Rumble. First time ever it happens for the women. It's only happened once ever in history, and that was for the men
Oh yeah,
with Bret Hart and
Luger
British
and-
Bulldog.
yeah, like some Luger.
Or yeah, Luger. Sorry, not Bulldog. But anyways, so it's the first time ever it's happened for the women, and so the next night on Raw, they're saying they're fighting back and forth who gets the title opportunity, and all of a sudden Rhea Ripley comes out, and she won her match at Royal Rumble, and she looks at both of them, and she's like, "I'm next. I'm the championship opportunity." And she points at the sign, and she just screams into the microphone, "Mommy Mania."
So who? Wait. So that's Zariah. I think is she in
Yeah,
WWE?
she's in NXT
In
right
NXT.
now.
Well, I was just gonna say, like Grace and Rhea looks like they look like they could be there in the picture. When I first looked at this, I was like, who the fuck is indie wrestler?
No, she's
That's what it looks like. It looks like a homemade indie wrestler. Like, look, I'm in the main event too.
But no, this is and in reality, Rhea and Zarya, because Zarya is Australian too. They're like huge best friends or whatever from way back. And then you
Really?
have Grace, who is coming in. She's got a ton of hype behind her. So there's a lot of threads that connect this match together. But I'm really interested to hear what you two have to say about it.
It's also a wild match. Like the way you're framing it, the way it's gonna get set up is like just two Rumble winners. I wasn't expecting this match. It's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. If they made it work and it got built up, then I of course would enjoy it. But I just didn't expect this match to come up.
And I think it would be really cool too, because you have essentially what's an outsider in Jordan Grace, but by then she would be contracted to NXT, I think. And then you have Zarya, who's also going to be an NXT talent. To have them both win the Rumble, which has never happened before. Nobody from NXT has ever won it. I think that would be a huge stamp of approval for the women's, main event, but even just the women's roster in general for the next 5 or 10 years.
Come here.
So is Rhea over?
So I was going to say, yes, Rhea does win here. But I think just to have this match would be amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways, Joey, do you have any thoughts?
So my question is Jordan Grace in WWE at this point, or is she the first ever outside talent to win the Rumble?
Yeah, in my mind, she is with NXT at this point.
Okay.
I can tell you in real life right now, she's like on a handshake deal right now. She's finishing up her contract. I believe it ends in January with TNA, but then she's going to NXT.
I was going to say, if she's in NXT or WWE, I don't really care for her winning. But if she was to be in TNA, and if this Zaraya and Ripley are in WWE, obviously one of them's gonna win. Now Grace being not the sole winner, but like 50-50 winner, technically being an outsider to win the Rumble, that would be huge news. Mm-hmm. That would be big. I think that'd be bigger than her winning.
I think the
NXT,
fact that it's the first double winners would be enough of news to hype it up.
Well, plus her being a TNA talent competing for the first time at Mania, that really stamps it on there. Like, dude, WrestleMania is big. At one point you could say, did WrestleMania so big that they even had TNA wrestlers or NXT wrestlers? Like, this is where all the wrestlers want to come and be at. I can see where you're coming from, but if she was coming from TNA, 50% Rumble winner, and wrestling in the main event at Mania, holy crap! Talk about TNA viewers wanting to switch the channel for a minute.
But anyways, I was just the moment that we we're talking about doing too early predictions again, doing it again this year. This is the first match that popped into my head, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to do this. So I'm really proud of it.
I like it mainly because of Grace and Rhea. The other girl I don't know too much of. Like I said, she looks like an indie wrestler put in the photo.
Well, when I made this, they didn't have a good render for her up on WWE.com yet. So
Is it better looking?
Oh yeah, she has a good render up now, but not when I made this. Anyways,
Oh hell yeah, she has a cute render now. He said.
next up, penultimate main event for night 2: Seth Rollins versus CM Punk.
Penultimate?
It means second to last.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that a word or
No, that's the real word. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. I'm not gonna keep beating the dead horse. I too think this is a trio of matches. I don't know if this is the second or the third, but I think that Punk goes over here. No, listen.
Everyone's got their own voice, I know.
I think that Seth loses nothing by losing to CM Punk, whereas Punk gets a lot of aura from beating Seth Rollins, and to do it at Mania would just add to that. So I don't know if this is the only win he gets, or if he wins the feud and he gets 2, but I think this would be just really good for Punk to win here. Again, I won't beat a dead horse.
Oh yeah, he got a real big order when he left the beat, didn't he?
Yeah. And then
I think that's why he's gonna main event. Like, because when Punk came back, that was his whole thing. He was saying, he was like, oh, part of me being back is main eventing WrestleMania. So I've sensed that, that's where they're gonna.
No. I'll tell you, he's back because he burned his fucking bridge with AEW and had nowhere else to go. Like, Ring of Honor's owned by AEW, so he ain't going there. I mean, like, TNA, okay, but you're not gonna make that much money. Like, come on. But my thing too is, like, Punk, I think he deserves to lose no matter whose card he's on, just because you want that Mania match, fine, you can have it. But at the end of the day, you left us hanging and dry, and Rollins was there to carry us through. I'll never forgive CM Punk for what he did to us. And that's just me personally.
All right.
Call me bitter.
Well, we have come to the main event of night 2. And it is once again a triple threat. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes going in as champion versus The Rock. Undisputed WWE World Triple Threat match. So essentially, if you
almost had this match.
If you analyze the players, we have mega heel Final Boss Rock versus the badass fucking anti-hero that is Roman Reigns versus the white meat, white bread babyface Cody Rhodes. You have all 3 players represented in what a WWE match is made out of. And I've got Roman Reigns winning it because I do. I have Roman Reigns winning because I think Cody's time with the belt, with this run at least, will be over by now. I think we're all kind of going to get sick of him a little bit, which we already kind of are. I don't see The Rock holding it. But I think this is where Roman and Rock really go at each other. They beat each other all the hell. Cody, he gives the triple crossroads to Rock. And then as he gets up from that triple crossroads, Roman spears Cody, stacks him on top of Rock, recreates his WrestleMania 30, whatever it was, with Daniel Bryan and Edge, where he stacks them 1, 2,
37,
3.
37.
Yeah, 37.
That'd be cool. I do hate how in this picture though Cody looks like his shit. Don't you think?
So then after, if we're talking post Mania, I think Roman versus Rock is that SummerSlam main event. So this would have legs going after.
Oh, the first.
I don't know. I don't know. Only because I just think about like Rock versus Roman's a WrestleMania match. Like that just cannot happen anywhere else because that's just
I'm
a
not
huge.
saying it's
like,
the only match they can ever have.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the follow-up to this
before you know it
is SummerSlam.
Yeah, I almost had this. Because it was hard for me not to put Roman or Cody not in the main event. Like they're up there, man. And plus, The Rock faced any of them, of course he'd be in the main event. So this is
before you know it, WrestleMania's gonna be a 3-night man. Before you know it, WrestleMania's gonna go 3 nights, and it's gonna be Rock and Roman 1, 2, and 3.
All right. So, anybody have any comments before I switch off this?
It's actually.
I like.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it's a good match. I just think Rock and Roman sells itself Cody could be in another match with someone else
Well,
to give them that big championship
and I
run.
agree with
But I
you.
mean, I see where you're coming from. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, I don't think the match would. If anything, I would like to see Rock and Cody, or Rock and
Yeah.
Roman. If I was gonna see Roman and Cody again, I'd like to see Roman take the title off Cody. That's my personal
Well, I
opinion.
would
That's where
like
I'm
to.
confused because I don't
I
know
would
where they're
like to
gonna.
see. I would like to see like Cody versus Roman like here at Mania because it doesn't need much build. You could do them, run
Yeah,
that back. Rock comes in and he interferes, and that's how it becomes a triple threat.
Hmm.
yeah, it's tough though
Okay.
because I'm because like even I thought like at SummerSlam or even like this upcoming Mania that we'd get Cody versus Rock because that's still just a big match. And remember the Raw after Mania,
Oh
Rock
yeah,
came out and just saying how their story is and he handed him whatever he handed him. And so I'm like, okay, like Rock and Cody's coming up. See, this is what I was gonna say. Like after Joy was at, I like this match because it all kind of intertwines and because it is tough because I still feel like rock and Roman still needs to happen. I'm just like
yeah.
it's tough though. But I feel like when we first did this, announced this, like the early predictions, I thought of this match before I thought of just doing Rock and Roman. But because I like this match.
All right. So then I'm gonna flip off this. Now we're gonna go to Eddie and Austin. Again, we don't know their motivations. We don't know all the
Yeah,
winners, so I'm not gonna even try to give them.
maybe
Um,
we should give who we think should win. I don't know.
yeah, I
Be
mean,
nice.
if you guys
Eh.
feel strongly one way or the other, go ahead and pipe up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of rifle through them. So we got
Yeah,
Eddie.
buzz through.
Night one. Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. And I made the name for this because Eddie
Ooh,
isn't here.
interesting.
I'm calling it the Mommy Championship Sandwich Invitational.
What the fuck?
What?
that's that's what I'm calling it because you got Raquel and you got Rhea, who is the Royal Rumble winner, his Royal Rumble
Oh,
winner.
and he's got Royal Rumble or
Joey, whatever that,
what is
yeah,
that
turn it
set? Hold
off.
on.
Okay, so yeah,
But
so
he's
that,
got Rhea Ripley winning a second Rumble, so that's interesting.
yeah, that
Then I
is
think
interesting. But yeah,
if it
I
was
couldn't
me,
help
Mommy
it.
would win, of course.
Yeah, we don't know. I would have Mommy win.
Yeah.
Uh, but
I
yeah,
feel like Eddie Wade would have Liv winning. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Eddie Wade would have Liv winning somehow.
I think yeah. I mean, with as much of a heel as he is, he might have Raquel win and everybody gets screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so
hmm
but yeah, so it's it's the Mommy Championship Sandwich Invitational.
Uh-huh.
No, it's
Mommy
live.
just
No,
said
listen,
Subway.
it's not literal sandwich. It's Liv getting sandwiched between two mommies of Raquel Rodriguez and
Oh,
Rhea Ripley.
okay.
All right, next up, Bronson Reed versus Ilya Dragunov, straight up singles match. I think that'd be
Mm.
hard hitting as hell. Not much to say about it. I'm not even sure who would win it, but I like it. I
That is
wish we
kind of
had
tough.
Eddie here to
I
talk
feel like
about it.
Bronson would win at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Bronson
mean,
would win at this point.
I'd kind of have Bronson too.
Yep.
Yeah. Um. Next
I
up,
know Bronson's kind of been in the main events or been venturing in the main event scene, but I could see him as being the one to dethrone Braun Breaker.
yeah,
Row, 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 row.
yeah, I could too. I think I have another one coming up. I can't remember though. Um, the Usos versus Motor City Machine Guns going as champs WWE Tag Team Championship match. This one's gold.
Okay,
I really
okay.
love this.
I like it. I like it.
I do too.
I choose
Um,
Usos because Usos the greatest tag team
I
ever.
would choose in this specific instance. I would choose Motor City because I think they would get more of a rub, more aura from beating the Usos here. Um,
Fair, fair.
no, that's for this match. Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. Again, we're not the only
Bianca doesn't
people who
lose.
had it.
Yeah,
I want Jade to
yeah,
win or I want Bianca to win personally because I want to see the streak alive. But of course, it
yeah.
could be more matches afterward. Braun Breaker versus what? Braun Breaker going as champ versus Jacob Fatu.
Wow.
People were saying this is a future
Oh,
Mania
oh, oh, oh,
match.
oh, oh.
Eddie isn't waiting for future. He is now. He has booked this match for our watching pleasure.
Wow.
I like it.
This is tough. Who would win this? This is crazy.
I would
I'm
have
really trying to think
Jacob
of who would
it.
win this. I think I go with Braun too. Like I'm just like I don't know. Oh, it's tough, but no, I think Braun would find a way. He's just oh.
I Okay, so I'm both disappointed and proud of this graphic. Disappointed because my editing software fucked up the Final Testament's name here. I don't know what happened there, but it's a mix of fucking Jacob Fatu and Judgment Day, and neither of those two is it. Yeah, Job Fatu Day. But I'm proud of this because I superimposed the
Intergender
Miz's.
quintet match.
Yeah, I'm proud of this match, or I'm proud of this graphic, I should say, because I superimposed the Miz's head onto Paul Ellering's body, because it worked so well for the graphic.
I didn't even notice.
So yeah, so it's the Wyatt Six versus the Final Testament with the Miz.
If I didn't do White Six versus the Judgment Day, I would have done them against Cross in the Final Testament.
Yeah, so I'm both proud and disappointed in this match. Yeah.
This is evil.
And
this is like evil Miz. Just
yeah. And if anyone was interested, quintet means 5. So a trio is 3,
yes.
Quintet is 5. Next up, Kevin Owens versus Carmelo Hayes. I think this would be great.
Interesting.
For the same reason
Okay,
that Owens versus Paul works is the same reason why
Mhm.
Owens versus Hayes would work. Hayes is just such a pompous ass sometimes. He's so full of himself. He buys into his own shtick, which he should because he is that good. But Kevin Owens would just have none of it.
Yeah. That's why I feel so bad. That's why I feel bad about not putting KO and Sammy on it because both of them ever since they like main evented, the night one of 39, I was like, they both deserve singles matches at Mania every year.
Right. Next up, this one, I'm not gonna lie, Eddie kind of pissed me off with this one. Cody Rhodes,
Dun, dun, dun.
the Royal Rumble winner for the 3rd year in a row, versus
What?
Randy Orton, who is the WWE Undisputed Champion at this time.
It's so funny because he can't explain, like he can't be here to explain how we get here. That's
It
just
pisses
funny
me off.
because
He's the only, yeah. Well,
yeah,
and not
that's what I'm
especially
saying.
not
If
back to back to back either.
yeah, because if
Yeah,
that's legit, what would happen? If he won
would be
3,
so
nobody
hated.
would like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, L L take Mr. Future Champ.
Yeah,
He
absolute
shouldn't have
L.
won because
Joey,
wait,
what happened
oh,
to your
I know,
camera?
but he would have to win it. He'd have to win it at Survivor Series or something.
Yeah.
Like Randy would have to win it at Survivor Series, or because that's the pay-per-view before Rumble, and then Cody would win the Rumble.
All right. Next. So anyways, we're gonna move away from that hot garbage to night 2. I like this match. Sami Zayn versus Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Drew McIntyre. This would be fun.
Ooh, I like this too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Lots of moving parts and chemistry here that all really works together.
If I'm Eddie, who would I choose? I don't know. I'd assume Gunter or Eddie would want Gunter to win, then Drew and Gunter go on into a different feud.
I would
I don't know though.
I would have Gunther destroy them both. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, next up. This is a match that both Austin and Eddie have, but none of us have. Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods. Singles match.
That'd be sad to see. Sad to see. You gotta love the New Day.
Yeah.
But it's inevitable.
You'd have to
It's
have
inevitable.
Big E
They're gonna beat each other up.
You have to have Big E as like guest referee or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad that
Wow.
neither of them is here. I'd have to go.
I know
with
it depends on how. I was about to say it depends on how good Xavier Woods of a heel he is, or I don't know, maybe
He can
Kofi's
be
a
a
heel.
good
You never
heel.
know, but
I think
yeah,
if he
I
tapped
think
into
Xavier
his
would get the win.
Consequences Creed character, I think he could pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, are you still with
The
us?
King of the Ring.
Okay, well your camera's off, so. Okay, I just hope it didn't fuck up. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I could just edit this out because I mean they're not even here to talk about it, but it's just fun for us to go through it. I'm not shitting on them. This next one also pisses me off from Mr. Eddie Wade, and I wish he was here to answer for his crimes. I really do. The Super Friends is the best name I could come up with these for versus the Judgment Day. This pisses me off on
What the hell?
many levels.
This has tripped me out. I didn't expect to see this.
This pisses me off on so many
Okay.
levels because not only is this John Cena getting wasted at WrestleMania, this is
His
Damian
last
Priest
Mania.
getting wasted at WrestleMania. Even if you wanted to go so far as Ray getting wasted at WrestleMania. And cherry on
I know
top,
you could have done.
cherry on top, JD and Finn are still champions at this point. He specifically said that.
That's crazy.
And they're not defending
They're
the
not
titles.
defending them. They're not defending them. They're just in.
It's just a 4-on-4.
Oh my goodness.
This pisses me off so many ways.
I mean, we named off some matches, but this is the ultimate clusterfuck right here. Like this
Yeah.
is just like this is what you play on 2K.
This is he needs to answer for his crimes against wrestling. It's John Cena, Damian Priest, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio.
It's literally, yeah, literally.
It's so
Oh my goodness, he was playing this.
It's so bad.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to reach through the phone and strangle him for this match.
Yeah, I can see you again, Joey.
Yeah, we can see you again now.
Yeah.
This next match he's got is good. I will admit. 4-way women's match for the WWE Women's Championship. Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton going in as champion versus Bayley versus Nia Jax.
Okay. I've definitely
Joey,
on
you got a hell of
PLEs.
an echo going
It'd be
on.
lit to see more Fatal 4-ways. Yeah, I hear too.
Yeah, that really screws. Yeah, that really screws up the recording. So I don't know if you can fix it or what. Okay. Testing.
I assume.
Yeah. Well, no, you guys would have been visible. And of course you would have heard the audio.
Yeah,
But
I think
like I said though, this isn't even. I don't even know if this will make it into the video, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Oh, and there goes
Uh-oh.
Joey. Well, now it's definitely not going in the video.
Yeah. Well, I think Eddie Way would probably. I feel like for some odd reason, Eddie Way
I
would
feel
just
like
choose
especially
Bailey,
with how
but
much
nah,
I'm
he go.
trashing Eddie here.
Yeah, he just be. No, but I'd say, probably, I don't know. He'd probably go with Tiffy since she just, of course, she's the champ.
Yeah. Next up,
This is a good match.
Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. It's been dead. It's been done to death.
Mm-hmm.
Won't beat the horse anymore.
Great minds think alike, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa United States
Yeah.
Championship match. I like this.
Wow.
It's funny him and I came to the same conclusion of these two kind of butting heads. Of course, we don't know who
Mhm.
his winner is, but I'd guess it's probably LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like freaking joke now.
Solo's actually really funny, like his brothers. Like
Yeah, he
Jay
just
and
doesn't
Jimmy, of
show
course,
it a
in their
lot.
own ways are funny. Yeah, Solo's just very funny. Now that he's given a mic, because before when he debuted, I remember when he debuted because he debuted in Seattle on SmackDown after he cost Drew the title or whatever,
Mhm.
and he did a promo there. But after that, he was just this all the time, wouldn't
Yeah.
talk. But
I
now
know,
he's
right?
since
Like,
he's
now
the
he
new
just shut up.
the new tribal chief, he's talking. He
Go back
keeps
to not
talking now.
talking, Solo.
All right. Next
Mhm.
up, Unholy Union versus Damage Control as champions. Of course, that's Io and Kyrie. Women's
now you got
WWE Tag Team
TTRL.
Championship. It would be a good match. It would be good.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know about Mania match though.
yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
about to say, like, it would be good, but I don't think it has the steam behind it that some of ours did, who have these same players but have more working
Makes
parts
it a
And-
free show
around
maker.
them.
And maybe it would be better in like a couple years from now, when the Unholy Union grow into really what they are, and so does like Damage Control. They grow on different levels, but as of right now, I don't know.
Yeah, and
I'd assume
especially
he'd have Damage Control
I
winning.
like I don't like this term because it pisses me off. But a lot of people would see this as the piss break match because then the main event he's got as Rock and Roman. So like nobody would pay attention to the match.
Yeah.
But this is Eddie's bookings. We're not he's not here to defend himself, so we can't trash him
I'm
too
not
much,
cracking
even
at
though
all
it
for
is
the rest of
fun.
this guy.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying though. But anyways, that's what he's got for the main event. Austin.
Yeah, I think the reason I chose Tribal Combat instead of like Bloodline Rules was because that when Jay and Roman when
It
they
was
did
for,
Tribal
like,
Combat, it
control
was
of the
for the
family.
title Tribal Chief. Yeah, the Tribal Chief. So I feel like with Roman and Rock, it'd be for the Tribal Chief.
Yeah, and if you guys specified what the match was, I put it in there. If nobody specified, then obviously I didn't. So for that, it was just
Before
a
you move
singles
on,
match.
it reminds me of how WWE on Raw a couple of years ago used to do like those polls for the fans, and it'd be like, "What do you want to see?" Like Seth Rollins and Jericho fight in a street fight, a Falls Count Anywhere, or a hardcore match. Like it's the same thing.
or a pool full
I
of
get
pudding
that.
match. Next up, we have Austin. I will say Austin has been very busy the last couple weeks, so he's had a hard time finding time to make these matches. So just keep that in mind when it comes to watching his. Obviously, he's a very busy man. We have Braun Breaker going in as champ versus Chad Gable. WWE Intercontinental Championship match. I think it would be great.
I like it. It looks like a really solid show starter, to be honest.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
how you start a show, and just say, "Hey, we have arrived. This is what WWE is."
And I'd assume Gable would be the baby face. I don't know,
would
maybe he'd do the
assume
turn
so.
again, but I don't know.
I think you'd have a double flip
Yeah.
here, and I would love to see Gable win
Well,
the
see,
title at Mania.
it's crazy to me because like Braun's that guy
That'd be
that
crazy.
Braun kind of reminds me of Stone Cold in a sense where you can be the bad guy and the fans still like you. So I can see them both being heels and the fans being behind Braun and hating against Chad.
Yeah.
It is interesting that for Braun, for 4 out of the 5 of us, we all have him as still Intercontinental Championship or champion all the way out until Mania, and then the only person who doesn't
Hmm.
is Eddie, who is Joey, I should say, who has him in the main event fighting for the
I will
world
say
title.
though,
So
like
we all see Braun as a
I will say
huge
though, like
player.
there's some people you see that title on and you're just like, that title looks fucking good on Braun Breaker.
It does. Next up, we got the Usos versus God again. I don't know what more we could say about this match other than it would be amazing. Like, it's two
Yeah.
sides of the family
The
coming
Tongans.
for each other's throats. What more can you
The
ask
Rock's
for?
grandpa and dad are just, smiling about this match.
Oh,
Rikishi's
absolutely.
probably, oh my God, Rikishi's probably at home with a box of Kleenexes right now.
I'm not even sure whether or not to censor
I said it in a
that.
PG way.
Okay, so I am censoring it. And then next up, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. Tiffy going in as champ, Women's World Championship match. I think we all kind of see this.
Oh, so this would be like Nia's rematch.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
do like this match, but I do gotta say Nia looks pretty cute in that pic.
I love that all of us have Tiffy as the champion, either coming out of the WrestleMania match with me, or the rest of you have her going in as champ. I think that's really cool for her
all
too.
seriousness though, like I want to see Nia
I
get
just
like I think everybody forgets she had a WrestleMania moment like probably 7 years ago when she took the Raw title from Bailey and Sasha and everyone. But like, I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
ever since then, she went on that where she was injuring people left and right. People shit on her, and
She lost all
and no one's
credibility.
given her really a second chance since then. And I'm not being mean about her, but I think a lot of wrestling fans are so used to the model figure that people like sizable weight like her and Piper Niven. I think fans kind of shit on them because like they are plus size, but like I think this is a chance
Well,
for someone like Nia or Piper Niven or someone. I think it's like a really good time and age for them to show like, hey, us plus women can get in there and dominate just like those women you grew up on.
I can tell
Yeah.
you as.
Not just that.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna add this little note. Not just that, but also on like wrestling fans be doing it based on how attractive the woman is as
That's what I'm
well.
saying.
Like as far as like
It's,
who their favorites
yeah,
be.
it's just dumb. I will
Yeah.
tell you this as one of Naya's biggest like critics, as a Naya hater, if you want to call me that. Uh, Her appearance has nothing to do with why I don't like her, and I'll poke all the holes you want in it, because Piper Niven is one of like my favorite women in WWE. She may not get a lot of opportunities, but she is awesome in the ring and she does a lot of good things. I do not like Nia specifically because of her history of injuring people. And another reason I don't like her is because of the lack of effort that she puts into her matches. Because there's a lot of times where she gets carried through these matches. She doesn't do a lot to, have the matches happen.
Oh,
Like you see her and she goes up to somebody and she like just kind of nudges them with her foot to do a kick out. Or, you see her just kind of dropping somebody when they don't need to be
well,
dropped a certain way. Like it looks dangerous. Even if she's not injuring people currently, I still see the lack of effort in training and the lack of effort in putting on the show.
well,
And that is why I
Well, I
don't
do
like
think
Nia
it's kind of
Jax.
hard being like one of the only two big women there. Like when you see all these other wrestlers doing these crazy acrobatic stunts, and you know that you're not.
Oh, I'm not saying she has to be a flippy. What I'm saying though is like I said, she does a little like a little nudge for a kick to get somebody to
Yeah.
kick out. Whereas if you're a monster, which is what Nia is, She needs to go up and she needs
I
to
get that.
whang, really like stomp
Mhm.
on the person. I'm not saying you have to do a fucking moonsault or something onto them, but give some.
Yeah,
Put
she almost
some
did a
umph
Hurricane Rana
behind it.
this year.
Hey,
Yeah,
kudos,
Almost.
kudos
That
to you
was
for
great.
taking a good render for her here.
you're welcome.
I'm not gonna
Joey. I
lie.
thought that
I
would. I thought that would
when she
please you.
almost did the Hurricane Rana, I didn't even know what the hell was happening. I didn't know what was supposed
Nayakanrana.
to go down. Yeah. Again.
Again, and it's like another Seth and Punk situation. We got Belair versus Jade. It's just the match everybody wants. WWE, just
I
give us
keep
what we want.
I keep saying it. I keep saying it. Belair does not lose at
Like I said,
WrestleMania.
Yep.
Jade needs to pay her dues.
Yes,
Next up,
yes.
we have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the umpteenth millionth
Lord.
time. They are the John Cena to Randy Orton.
Okay.
I like this.
Yeah, this would be
because
their
not
second match at Mania.
Yeah. And I like this because it doesn't feel forced, because I see the road I think Austin was taking here, because Owens on his revenge tour, so to speak. And I think him
Yeah.
seeing what Sammy's doing with the bloodline, with all the shit that they went through to destroy it, I think Kevin would just snap. So I totally see how this match could happen, even though we've seen it 1,000 times before. I think.
I said it in the last AEW prediction, like how they have like MJF and Daniel Garcia, and then the Adam Cole and MJF thing. This is like one of those cases where I would like to see Kevin Owens just go freaking nuts on people. Like
Beat the shit out of him, yeah.
He turned on Orton for siding with Cody, who teamed with the Bloodline. Now you got Sammy doing it. Like I just want to see Kevin Owens out of nowhere come out with a steel chair and just attack everyone who's going back to the Bloodline. And then it's like, because like you gotta think Owens is the one guy I think that never gave up on trying to beat the crap out of the Bloodline. I think it's fair to him to say, you know what, I did so much for you guys, trying to help you guys fight off this Bloodline, and now you're just reversing everything we did. Like Roman, like Owens needs to come out and just massacre everyone that's going back on what they fought for at one point. Owens is if you think about it, Owens is the only one staying true to himself.
Next up, I love this match because it's so different from everything that we did. John Cena, the Royal Rumble winner, versus Gunther, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
Gunther is the perfect John Cena heel.
Yeah.
He is. He's a foreign. He's fucking dastardly, twisting his mustache kind of heel. He's perfect for John.
John Cena movie there, where John Cena's fighting the Nazi German and.
Yeah. So there'd be so Cena would win 3 Rumbles.
Yeah, his third Rumble,
and he would, I assume the story will be going in him trying to win his 17th title to break the streak. Yeah,
I think he would win it here too. I think it would be cool.
I don't know. I don't think he would. I don't think he would.
I would book him to win it, because I think WWE would really like to get that asterisk off their championship reigns, where it's Ric Flair as the most. I think they would really like to replace him with John Cena.
Okay, I know we're talking technical stuff, but even if Cena does win at 7, Ric Flair still has 24 or 22 or something like that. So I mean, like, there's always gonna be that asterisk.
21, I think, is what he says.
There's always gonna be that asterisk there, but like, I think this is a good win for Cena. And then plus, I will say, although I'm gonna backtrack. Although I said I don't want to see anyone top Austin's Royal Rumble record or tie it, Cena being my hero, it is the only logical thing, the only logical person that I can see tying that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So then night 2, once again we have Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods. Not really sure what we could say more about this match other than I would like to see it. I don't know if it's a Mania match, but I would like to see it.
I would like to see if this is where the New Day collides. The only thing I'd like to see is either Big E on commentary and hear his his views on it, or at very least, these two guys maybe they're like battling it out, can't get maybe there's a bunch of screwery going on, and then Big E comes out and goes, "I'm not siding with any of y'all. Like I love you both, and I'm gonna be the referee here because everyone wants to see Big E back anyway." I think it'd be nice to see Big E come out and referee this match and go, "I'm not picking favorites. The winner of this match is gonna be like the winner of this feud, and I'm going down the middle."
Right.
Okay.
Next up, we're taking a blast from the past. Well, I should say it's not even a blast from the past. It's a rematch from WrestleMania 40. LA Knight going in as U.S. champ versus AJ Styles. I would like this match.
The night AJ debuted his new song, which I was not a fan of, but now I like it.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not as bad as people say it.
I was the same way with his. I was the same way.
Not that bad, dude. It's really cool if you like just listen to it.
They don't.
Same with Jimmy's new theme.
Oh, I think I
didn't like Jimmy's theme.
Jimmy's theme is miles better than Jay's.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
I love it. I wouldn't say miles. Miles.
No, it is. It's so much
Jimmy's
better.
Might be better, but
the instrumental of it is better. The fact that they have an actual like story they're telling with his song, it's so much better than Jay's.
They're two different type of songs. Jimmy's is like talking about going out and doing his own thing. Jay's song, like if you want to get the crowd at a WWE event or on TV pumped up, you play that at a WWE themed event, and you're getting.
And I will give it that. Yeah, I mean I will give it that.
Two different themes, two different vibes.
Could you imagine?
And that was just so what.
I was about to say, could you imagine like a main roster versus NXT Worlds Collide where it's Trick Williams versus Jey Uso and both their themes back to back? That would be so much fan engagement.
Oh, you mean like
I know. What's crazy about Trick Williams is that he has a Trick Williams theme is nothing without the crowd. Well, it's not nothing, but it's just not the same.
They had a shirt on WWE.com and it said like Trick or Yeet. And it was like a Jey Uso themed shirt. And I was like, dude, that is a kick-ass Trick Williams and Uso themed shirt. But then when I looked at it, it didn't have Trick Williams like involved in it. I'm like, are you kidding? Trick or Yeet? That is the one missed opportunity.
Oh, it was just a play on words.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Halloween theme. But anyways, so the fact that we started talking about Trick Williams and Jey Uso here kind of shows how interesting this match is. Next up, for some reason, John Cena. Sometimes Pixlr just goes into business for itself here.
Wow,
this is not
John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Yeah,
I will say AJ Cena have gotten a lot prettier in this picture.
I mean, they have. Like I said, sometimes.
And apparently they're fighting for the Women's World Championship.
Sometimes the editing software just goes into business for itself, and I don't know about it until after the fact, and that is one of these times. But we have Rhea Ripley winning her second Rumble versus Liv Morgan.
Now when I tell people I'm attracted to John Cena, I'm going to have to show them this picture and be like, let me explain.
Yeah. How are we going to explain this? We're going to explain all this. Okay, so it's John Cena versus AJ Styles for the Women's World Championship, and Rhea wins the title.
And the wrestling drag.
Somehow. Yep. Yep.
All right. Once again, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Dead horse.
The real pictures and names? Okay.
Yes. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Cody going in as undisputed champion. I don't think we could say more about this match other than what we have. It's the ultimate student versus apprentice.
Yeah, I know it's coming soon.
This photo, Cody looks a little bit more humbled, but The Rock, Roman, and Cody won.
Yeah, I picked the most. I handpicked the most babyface, shit-eating, like Cody Rhodes picture I could find for that match specifically.
Well, yeah, in that triple threat one, he looked like his shit don't stink. In this one, he looks a little bit more humbled and heroic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this would be an amazing match. It's everything that is
Mhm.
right with WWE.
I do like it because it's legacy coming back at each other. I only like. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he'd be in.
While Ted DiBiase Jr. watches from a
Not
prison
yet.
cell
Yeah.
because he fucking
It's
stole
a
money from
new
FEMA
day.
victims.
I mean, that's what I'm saying too. Like, I'm not saying Ted would have been like in WWE. I'm not saying he would have been bigger than what he was when he left. But just the fact that he can't be
He wouldn't
involved
have.
in this legacy battle somehow, it's like I don't know. I grew up watching that. Like, I was already a long fan of wrestling going into that. So me personally, I'm like, man, there's an ingredient missing here, and to me, it's just like it's like Ted never happened.
Yeah. And then, as I'm sure it's no surprise, the main
Rockin' Rock.
event, Rockin' versus Roman Reigns. Once again, singles match. No specific match
says.
type.
The Rock
Dude, it's
says.
kind of crazy because this whole freaking episode, we've had Rock and Roman in triple threats, bloodline rule matches, other matches, singles matches.
Well,
I mean,
it's 4 of them was just Rock and Roman. Mine is the only
I know,
triple
but they've
threat.
been in triple threat matches, bloodline rule matches, whatever Kai's match was,
Tribal
Combat.
and they had single matches. I mean, either
Singles
way you look at it,
matches.
like through all of our cards, Roman and Rock meet at Mania for some reason or another.
Yeah, I was about to say that the constant with all 5 of us is Rock and Roman somehow are engaged at Mania. You have Belair versus Cargill. You have oh fuck, what's the other one? Oh yeah, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Those are the 3 constants that are in every Mania match.
I'm just waiting for the match.
Or in every Mania card,
I'm
I
just
should
waiting
say.
for the WrestleMania where Nicholas is old enough to return and capture the tag title with Braun.
But anyways,
but no, like,
to end the presentation,
wouldn't it be cool to see all of our Mania matches? Like, maybe not exactly one of our Manias be picked, like the dream card come true, but wouldn't it be crazy if at WrestleMania certain matches from all 5 of our card picks somehow came together and formed a pretty decent Mania?
Oh, I would
Like,
love that.
I doubt it.
I
wouldn't doubt it. I'm not saying every match is going to happen, but I want to put money on it that out of 5 of us and like so many matches that we picked from and said, I guarantee you that by the time WrestleMania rolls around, we're looking at these and going, other than 1 or 2 matches, maybe, you know, this whole card.
What the fuck were we thinking?
Picks from each other's cards and say, wow, like they really mixed our cards up and made a Mania out of it.
Right. All right. Well, that ends the 91 slide presentation.
I'm glad I'm not you, dude.
So you don't have to go home.